Okay, we are live, homies. I'm gonna just let things chill for a few minutes. Lottery starts in about 15. Okay. All right. I'll give it another like 2 to 3 minutes and then we'll get underway. Hey, Green Earth, how's it going? Yeah, I don't like the lottery either. It doesn't help. It doesn't stop teams from tanking. Teams still tank. KP, what's up? Can you guys hear my TV, by the way? Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to give it about another minute for people to come in. Then I'll start talking through it. And by the time I'm done, it should be just about ready to start. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the Warriors have a good chance of picking in the top 7. In fact, I think they're higher than 50% to pick in the top 7. But it's not a great draft. All right, guys, how's it going? Thought I'd throw together a quick little stream. This is going to be about a half hour to 40-minute stream where we watch and discuss the NBA draft lottery for the 2021 draft, which comes up in I think a month or something, maybe a little more. So basically, unlike the NFL, you don't get the number one pick in the NBA by having the worst record. Having the worst record gives you better odds of getting the number one pick. So every team that did not make the playoffs gets a chance at the number one pick. But the teams that were worse have better chances of getting that number one pick. And the worse you were, the higher your chance of getting a better pick is as well, obviously. So if you look above my head, you can see what the odds are. The Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, and Orlando Magic all have the same odds of getting the top pick. Now, Houston, because they had the worst record, has the advantage of not having any possibility of their pick falling below 5, but they are still not in a tremendous position to get the top pick. And then you have teams like the Thunder and the Cavaliers who are also in the mix for a top pick, possibly even the top pick, and then it cascades down through Minnesota, Toronto, Chicago, Sacramento, New Orleans, Charlotte, San Antonio, Indiana, and Golden State. So they're going to unveil the results of the lottery team by team, and we will see where everybody falls. Again, the Houston Rockets have the best lottery odds of any team, although the margins are so thin in that regard, it barely even matters. So let's talk about this draft real quick, because I don't really watch college basketball, but I know people who do. This draft kind of sucks. It is a 2-man draft or a 3-man draft, depending on who you ask. The two guys that people really like, who people think are legitimate franchise-level players, are Cade Cunningham and Jalen Suggs. Both these guys are expected to be great point guards in the NBA. And some people will tell you that Evan Mobley is in their orbit as a 7-footer with 3-point range who can play great center. So, it's not a great draft. After that, you start getting into the guys who we're not so sure about. Jalen Green is good. Jonathan Kuminga is good, but most people would tell you that they are not sure things. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, and maybe Evan Mobley have the reputation of being sure things, I think. I don't feel that way about Jalen Green. I don't feel that way about Jonathan Kuminga. I don't feel that way about anybody else. Just those 3 guys, I think. So landing a top 3 pick in this draft is crucial. Any pick below that, and you may get somebody good, but there's certainly no guarantee of it. Now, there are 3 more wrinkles in this lottery process that increase the possibility of heartbreak for one team. So, number 1, the Houston Rockets traded their first-round pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Russell Westbrook trade a couple years ago. If the Rockets pick falls to 5, which is the lowest it can go, by the way, if the Houston Rockets pick at number 5, then the Thunder get that pick. And the Rockets get nothing this draft. Well, they get their second rounder, which, whatever, right? But yeah, the Rockets lose their first rounder if it falls outside the top 4. That has a 48% chance of happening, by the way. So 48% chance the Rockets end up with no first round pick after spending the whole year being one of the worst teams in the league, probably the worst team in the league. So potential for heartbreak there. However, it should be said that if they keep the pick, then they're going to lose it next year when they could be really bad again. And next year's a better draft. So, I don't know. It was just a pretty bad trade by the Rockets, I guess. Wrinkle number 2. The Minnesota Timberwolves have their first round pick going to the Warriors, but only if it falls within the outside the top 3. So if it falls to number 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, because it can't fall to 5. It's impossible. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they lose it to the Warriors. So the Warriors have a very good chance, 72% chance actually, of picking in the top 10. They have a 72% chance of picking up there. Now, one reason why the Timberwolves may have felt comfortable making that trade is because they felt like this was a shallow draft as well, and if their pick did not fall in the top 3, they weren't interested in keeping it. Oh, and by the way, this Minnesota Timberwolves trade actually stems from the Andrew Wiggins for D'Angelo Russell trade of a couple years ago. So yeah, D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins and a first round pick. So basically, very good chance the Timberwolves do not have a pick this year, but they protected themselves enough to where if their pick is in the top 3, they get to keep it. And if you believe that this is a 3-player draft, like I kind of do, that's not the worst thing in the world. Final wrinkle, the Chicago Bulls pick, because of the Vucevic trade, goes to the Orlando Magic if it falls to 8 or lower. And the Bulls' chances of having a pick higher than that is only 20%. So 80% of the time, the Bulls pick will go to the Magic. and the Bulls will not have a pick. So, very good chance the Magic have 2 top 10 picks this year. In fact, it's overwhelmingly likely that the Magic pick twice in the top 10 this year. It's a bad draft, but maybe they package those picks to move up into the top 3 if they get like the number 4 and the number 8. Depends on who people value. And that's pretty much it in terms of the wrinkles. And in theory, the lottery is going to start in a couple minutes here. It probably won't, but we will see. So those are the stakes. And unfortunately, I have to say, I don't find these stakes to be terribly interesting. The only team that has a real chance of winning the lottery that I think could be significantly altered in terms of their immediate future would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because the Timberwolves, they still have D'Angelo Russell, they still have Anthony Edwards, and they still have Karl Anthony Towns. They still have Ricky Rubio wherever he might be in his career. I don't know. But that is a team with some real talent. And if they get a top 3 pick and they get to pick either Suggs or or I'm sorry, Cade Cunningham, maybe they're on the right track. If they get to number 3, maybe they even go for somebody like a Jalen Green because that's kind of where they need help, perimeter front court. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here in terms of that. But unfortunately, this isn't the most compelling draft lottery we've ever had, not by a long shot. I this is not like the lottery in 2003 when the Memphis Grizzlies had a 50-50 chance of getting either LeBron James or getting absolutely nothing. And they got nothing. That was the most compelling moment in the history of the NBA draft. Now, here's my question. If the Timberwolves win the lottery and get a top or even get a top 3 pick, does that make it more likely or less likely that they move to Seattle? Because that's the current hot rumor that the Sonics will move to Seattle, move back to Seattle in the form of the Timberwolves. That's the question for me. We got 20 people in here, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Wait a minute. Why are my widgets not working? Show. Okay, there we go. You know, actually, I'm going to take that back. Maybe the Raptors. If the Raptors get a top 3 pick, that would be big because they still have Lowry, they still have Van Fleet, they still have Siakam. That's a pretty good team, I think. They could use one more big piece. If they get that one more big piece, watch out. But other than that, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of interesting stuff going on here. Because at that point, you're getting into teams that have less than a 5% chance. And at that point, it's like very unlikely anything big happens. So, the Bulls, if the Bulls won the lottery, that's very interesting, but they're less than 5%. Yeah, Thunder have good odds on a top 3 pick. Um, they got a shot, they got a good shot at it. If the Bulls get the number 1 pick, that's pretty interesting. It's unlikely, though. They need some bouncing balls to bounce their way. Okay, the draft, the actual draft is in 5 weeks. Okay, TJ, basically, I kind of went over it before you got here, but short version is the worst teams have the best odds of getting a top pick. Basically, if you look above my head, you'll see the percentage chance that every team gets the number one pick, and their odds of getting a high pick kind of cascades from there. So, for instance, the Thunder have let's see, a top three pick. The Thunder's chances of getting a top three pick is about 34%. They also have a 48% chance of taking the Houston Rockets pick because the Rockets lose their pick to the Thunder unless it falls in the top four. So basically, the odds of the Thunder getting a top three pick would be 34%. But that's only slightly less than the odds of the top three, of the worst three teams. Hey, Jake, what's up? I was looking at Houston's depth chart this morning, and they are so bad. I know they have John Wall, but they are so bad. Even if they get the top pick, like they're not going to be good this year. Yeah, of course, Jake. I always watch the Mariners unless I'm out or something. Yeah, the Warriors do have two lottery picks, though. That's pretty compelling. I will admit that. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. You think OKC will win? I mean, it's all just math, right? Mathematically, the team with the best lottery odds is the Houston Rockets, but their odds are still not amazing or anything like that. My best friend is a Bulls fan, so he's got something on the line tonight. And again, this draft is not great. Even the guys at the top, I'm not in love with. I'm not in love with Jalen Suggs. I do really like Cade Cunningham. I think Cade Cunningham is pretty legit, but other than that, I understand Jalen Suggs, I get it, but I'm not convinced he's going to be an amazing pro. Hey TSP, nice job. Cool. Hey Sean Ebb, what's up? TBP. All right, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I don't do a ton of basketball stuff though. I'm mostly a Seahawks channel, but I do all kinds of sports stuff because I like sports. Jake, I don't know, man. I mean, God, if he gets his mind right and starts taking free throws a little more seriously, that dude could be amazing. Kills me. My favorite team right now would be the Mavericks. If we get a team back in Seattle, I will jump right back on them. No, no problem. But right now, it's probably the Mavericks.
can't hit the A button.
Okay, no problem, TBP. I get you. You're good. I'm not really a Mavericks fan, though. I would just rather them win than any other team. I'm not a fan of the team. That's not right. Yeah, Joey. Uh, yeah, Jake. Of course I would be. He's a top 3 player already, and he might not even be capped out. All right, welcome to the channel, Game Tayupan. Okay, come on. When are you gonna start drawing ping pong balls? Give me them ping pong balls. How can you get something better than Luca? Like, what are you gonna get that's better than Luca? Trey Young and John Collins? Like, that's almost impossible, bro. Okay, so yeah, Jay Bilas has Cade Cunningham #1, Evan Mobley 2, and Jalen Suggs 3. I feel like after number 3, there's a big drop off. Hey, Cory kid. All right, come on. I assume whoever gets #1 is going to take Cunningham for sure, like guaranteed. Even if they have to do a trade to accommodate it, like if the Timberwolves got him, they could trade D'Angelo or move D'Angelo to shooting guard, I guess. All right, come on. Give me. Okay, here we go, guys. Yeah, Jake, there's something going on there, but I certainly would not give up on a player that good. Okay, it looks like after commercials, we're gonna figure out who's going where. Chat widget is acting up. Sorry, guys. Shit. I don't think we need to be making a trade to get better, Jake. I mean, we're decent right now, and the focus should be on next year more than anything. So I don't want to do any short-term trades. Okay, so I think after this commercial break, we're going to start getting some envelopes opened. I'm not a Mavs fan, Dame plays. I would just rather them win than any other team. That's a long-termer? Okay. Okay. If you say so. I would just be very cautious about getting anybody who's already in the majors. Yeah, Jake. I've tried to give up soda once or twice. Never goes well. All right. Come on, start opening envelopes. Yeah. Hey, Abel. Hey, Austin. Not a fan of the lottery system, by the way. I just want to put that out there. I think it's kind of silly. It's not stopping teams from tanking, not even close. Wow, a guard and Baylor won Defensive Player of the Year. That doesn't happen all that often, I don't think. No, Ian, I'm just streaming this for fun. What makes you think there's something? Okay, Ryguy. Okay, come on. There's only 15 minutes left in the show. Start opening envelopes. What? You did. And any second now. I want to see Luka go to the Lakers. What would they give up to get him? Like Anthony Davis and I don't even know. Like how could they make that happen? Okay, come on. Let's get some envelopes opening. Okay, here we go, boys. Here we go. Pick pick number 14 goes to the Golden State Warriors. Pick number 14 goes to the Golden State Warriors. Pick number 13. The Indiana Pacers. Number 12. San Antonio Spurs. No surprises yet. 11th pick. Charlotte Hornets. Everything going according to plan thus far. Number 10. The New Orleans Pelicans still on track. 9th pick. Sacramento Kings. Okay, this is the moment of truth for the Bulls. If they pick here, they lose it. The Orlando Magic from the Chicago Bulls. Yep, Bulls lost their pick. Seventh pick. Ooh, the Timberwolves fell. The Warriors. The Warriors are picking number 7 overall. And the Timberwolves lose their pick. Number 6 is the Thunder. The Thunder have fallen. Yikes. Cleveland has jumped. Ooh, that's bad for the Thunder. Number 5. Orlando Magic, they fall. So the Magic are picking 5 and 8. So remaining teams, Rockets, who, by the way, are guaranteed now to keep their pick. The Pistons, the Cavs, and the Raptors. Looks like the Raptors have moved up. Okay, so basically we know everything except the top 4. Magic are picking 5. Thunder are picking 6th. Warriors are picking 7th. Magic are picking 8th. Kings are picking 9th. Pellies are picking 10th. Hornets are picking 11th. Spurs are picking 12th. Pacers are picking 13th. And Warriors are picking 14th. I wonder if the Warriors would have preferred to not get the pick this year and get it next year because the draft will probably be better. I mean, not that they need a super duper star, but still, you would always prefer the draft to be better than worse, right? Yeah, I don't think the Sixers would give him up for just that. You'd probably have to give up something else on top of that. Simmons is still a good player. I know he has problems, but he's a good player. So the Timberwolves and Bulls have both lost their picks, but the Rockets are going to keep theirs. So right now we have Rockets, Pistons, Cavs, and Raptors. And we know that the Raptors and the Cavs have moved up. No. Yeah, the Thunder did not do well. They don't get the Rockets pick, and they don't their pick fell. The good news is they still have the Rockets pick next year, and the Rockets pick could be bad again, and next year's pick is going to get better. Yeah, the Lakers don't have a pick. Yeah, playoff teams don't have lottery picks unless they acquired them via trade. I'm not Dale, but some people in the chat were. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting because feel like I really feel like this is a three-player draft. So whoever gets announced next at number 4 gets hosed. So whoever gets the fourth pick gets kind of boned, I think, and the top 3 guys are going to be pretty happy because they should get a guy who's, you know, pretty well liked. This feels like a 3-man draft to me. If the Raptors get number 1 that's very sus, and number 2 that becomes a very interesting team, I think, because they still have good players, and they could like dump Lowry and build around Cade Cunningham. Okay, 5 more minutes until 6, so they've got to be announcing it any second now. So the Warriors pick at 14 and 7. Um, given the fact that the Warriors are kind of they have their top end taken care of when Clay gets back, probably. They don't need the super duper stars. They just need a player who's actually good. It's a 5-man draft. I don't know that much about the draft this year, I'll admit, but the general impression I've gotten is that. Oh, okay, here we go. Fourth pick goes to Toronto Raptors. Okay, okay. That's not so interesting for them. Okay, here we go. Number 3, Cavaliers. Okay, second pick. Wow, Rockets. Detroit Pistons with the number 1 pick. Detroit Pistons with the number 1 pick. Okay, so what do we think about that? That Pistons team has not been interesting for over a decade. I think their best player right now might be like Mason Plumlee or something. That is an atrocious team. They have some guys on their bench who they don't play very much who are interesting lottery talents like Dennis Smith Jr. and Josh Jackson and Jahlil Okafor. But that is a sad team. They needed this. And you can bet they're going to take Cade Cunningham and feel really good about it. So the Pistons get the number 1 pick. Oh, anyway, as for TlVlO, I feel like it's Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Suggs. I don't know about anybody else. I feel like those are the clear top 3, and then there's a drop off. But who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? I know people like Jalen Green. I know people like Kuminga, and maybe, but I don't feel the same way about them that I do about Cunningham, Mobley, and Suggs personally. But we'll find out. So, yep, we got the Pistons picking 1, Rockets picking 2, Cavs picking 3, and Raptors picking 4th. So the Raptors, that was close. That was a close call. Killian Hayes, okay. I didn't watch a ton of basketball this year. Yeah, I don't watch college basketball, to be clear. I just go off what people say. So, I don't know. If Suggs went number 4 to Toronto, that would be pretty cool because I think that Toronto team can still be pretty good. What pick did the Thunder get? They got the number 6, so they didn't do so well. Even if this isn't a 3-man draft, it's probably not any more than a 5-man draft. So getting number 6 blows. Getting number 6 really blows. You're not going to get. I mean, maybe you can get like Davion Mitchell from Baylor, but I don't know how exciting that is. Six-man draft, okay. I mean, I value that. And you know there are going to be players that come out of nowhere, like Tony Parker was a late first-round pick. You know, you're going to have players like that, but I feel like in terms of blue chippers, it's like three guys deep. You could talk me into 5 or 6, I guess, but I feel like it's 3-man. I think Toronto could be good this year. Remember, they didn't have home court last year because they played all their home games in Tampa because of COVID, or didn't they? It was something like that. They just kind of stayed in the bubble. I think Cunningham, Mobley, and Suggs are pretty much blue chippers. The rest, I don't know. I don't even know who's on the Pistons right now. They have like Josh Jackson. They have Jaleel Okafor. They have Dennis Smith Jr. They have a bunch of busted lottery picks. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. I just wanted to do the lottery for fun. So that was interesting. I don't know if any team has transformed their immediate future, but I will say I think the Raptors might be in a good place now. I think the Raptors lucked out pretty good here. All right. Yeah, Austin, I'll stream later tonight. I got to eat dinner and take care of some shiz, but I will stream either Dead by Daylight or Resident Evil 6. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Don't know how many people, I know basketball is not the hottest commodity right now, and I know that this is not a great draft necessarily, but always fun to see who wins and who loses. So I will see you guys later tonight. Peace out. Go Hawks. Go Mavericks, I guess, although that doesn't really carry any water at the moment because we didn't do nothing. And I will see you guys later tonight. Congratulations to the Detroit Pistons.